Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Nadi, aka Queen Goddess Hope. I am coming to you live from the country with a fresh new course. So, one thing that I notice is that when I am not working for corporate America, my business thrives and flourishes because of one thing: I have the time to put into the business. And that's something that I love, honor, and cherish. So that is the best time for me to be creating a course when I have downtime. I am not working in corporate America. I realize that I usually go for just short stints because I am not really meant to be managed. I am the manager. I am the boss. I am the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. So with that being said, I'm bringing you a fresh new course on how to build a Shopify store in 7 days or less. So in reality, I've gotten so good at building stores, I can build them in 4 hours. I can build them in 2 hours, depending on what it is that the client is requesting, whether if it's a product or service or a niche store. I can generally build a store extremely quickly. So now I'm at a point where I want to give this information out freely. So in this course, you'll see a plethora of things. You'll be able to see how to actually create banners, how to create your actual Shopify store. You'll be able to create t-shirts. You'll be able to learn how to connect to a drop shipping site where you can now push those same products to your store directly. You'll be able to create an ebook. You'll be able to create a teaching website, whereas I have Free as Fuck University. So you'll see this course added to that, and then you'll also see where the product is actually listed on my website, but is listed as a PDF document. The PDF document will also have the links directly to the store. So whether if people are going directly to freeasfuckuniversity.com or if they're going to bu2times.com, you'll be able to see either one, and you'll be able to still get the same curriculum regardless of where you're actually purchasing it from. So on bu2.com, you'll probably see it where you'll have the links directly to a YouTube page. And if you're on freeasfuckuniversity.com, you'll actually have the actual videos and things of that nature where you'll be able to watch it. Now, there's one day where the video is like 3.5 hours long, and what's so crazy is that I don't even realize that I'm getting sucked into the matrix like this. And I just love creating so much. It comes so easy to me, and I really don't mind me being in that space creating. I didn't even know that it was 3.5 hours. It's just something that I really enjoy doing, and it's just something that comes naturally to me at this point. So I'm just thoroughly spitting out this information, for you. So I realize that everybody doesn't have that kind of time. So I intentionally separated it in time stamps where you can kind of go back in on the next day or the next day or the next day. I'm not saying that you need to rush to do this, but I'm showing you how to do this with $0. So you don't have to put out any cash except for $3. And that is over 90 days. So $3 over 90 days in hopes that you'll make at least one product sale that will actually pay for it eventually. So the goal is to have at least one product on your website that is going to pay for either your annual subscription, if that's what you paid for, or your monthly subscription. I tend to do monthly subscriptions because there are two different types of stores. I have my traditional BU times 2, which is ongoing. That is something completely separate. That's not what I'm talking about here. I have multiple stores. So now the multiple stores are being on a monthly basis so that whatever product I'm selling can actually be spent towards that. So you do what you please. Obviously, your pockets are yours, but this is intentionally meant so that you're not putting out the money. Now, this course is not for somebody who's not going to put in the work. This course is not for somebody who's not eager to actually get up out of the matrix. This is meant for somebody who's thinking about what happened 3 years ago when the pandemic first started, and how that actually affected everything. Everything shut down. People could not go to their stores on a daily basis. People were getting laid off in mass numbers. And whether if you realize it or not, that is actually what's taking place all over again. There's going to be a massive amount of layoffs. We have multiple bank failures. So not only are we headed to a recession, we're actually already in one, and possibly now a depression. So all that means is that things are going to plummet. Most of us in our millennials or Gen Zs, we've never ever lived through that type of environment before. So how do we survive that? Can we survive hyperinflation? Can you survive not going into a job every single day? Can you survive, period, in general? Are you able to survive off of rationed food? Do you have preparation? You see those racks? Do you have preparation? Like, are you ready for what's about to come? You have to prepare yourself for what's about to come, and the best way to do that is to get ahead of the curve. Whether if you're a trader, whether if you invest in stocks, whether if you have a homestead, or if you are a small farmer like me, if you have an online business or an online boutique, it doesn't matter. There's always something that you're going to be able to sell, and there's always going to be somebody that you're going to be able to sell to. Now, I was just watching this video where this young lady said she didn't think that her business was going to do well when she created an online store, and during the pandemic all she sold was sweatpants, sweatsuits, outfits, and little did she know people were going to be wearing sweatsuits and leggings and different things like that the entire pandemic, almost like a year and some change. So her business did $230,000 that year, which is incredible. So for me, I started BU times 2 in 2013 and officially started QGH Holdings August 2019. So that very first year of my business made $10,000. And then the following year it made $30,000. And then the following year it made $78,000. So I'm praying to God that this year we do $150,000, at least to continuously double, if not triple, our net worth. So not only our network, but our sales online. So I do many different things. I take on individual clients that I help brand for social media marketing and create a digital presence on the web. Those things allow people to now 10x. It helps them to grow. It helps them become confident. It helps them to step out on faith and no longer allow corporate America to funnel their dreams, their visions, their money. Who is content receiving 26 paychecks per year? Raise your hand right now. When you think about it, there's 365, sometimes 66 days in a year, and you're only getting paid 26 of those days. But meanwhile, you're working at least 320 of those days. At a minimum, 320 of those days, and you're getting paid for 26. That is not enough for me. I want to be able to generate revenue, any type of income in my sleep. So I have multiple streams of income, and I have that for things like this, like the pandemic. I never even realized that I was getting smarter because I didn't want to work so hard until the pandemic actually hit, when people started hitting me up left and right, like, hey, you have this, hey, do you know how to do that? I know somebody that knows how to do this. And I was getting called all the time for stuff, and it got to a point where I was getting overwhelmed because I am a one-man band, and I was like, okay, how do I do this? And then I decided to go to InvestFest, which was ridiculous because it was the first year Earn Your Leisure podcast decided to have an event of just all of their audience come to an event and meet one another and meet them and this and that. Now Earn Your Leisure is a worldwide known brand. Can you imagine like me being a part of that brand when it first originated? Is an epic thing. People were like, okay, wow, the fact that you got on with them when it first started, that was epic. So that system that they created allowed me to connect with some of the next people who are going to, see their success in mass amounts of numbers, which is amazing. And I'm happy that my network will be my net worth eventually. So what good is the information that you're about to learn? You'll be able to tap in. You'll be able to expand who you want to be, who your mind will be. The greatest freedom that you can have is time. People always say time is not real, but in reality, my day is complete by 9 a.m. Meaning I've made some type of income at least by 9 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, because I am a trader. So that's not saying that I'm out here still not working for anybody. I still, work for people, but just in a different way. And also because I am a trader, I now have probably like 10 to 12 hours of free time, meaning I'm not sitting behind a desk, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And people are always like, you don't do shit. And I'm like, bro, do you know how much mindset goes into being a trader? Do you know how much time it takes to be a content creator? Do you know how much time it takes to be a leader? Do you know how much time it takes to actually create content and intertwine in your energy with others all day long on the internet? That's a lot of work, and people think it's such a little thing because they post. Between you posting and me posting are two different things. I have always been on social media from day one when they asked me to create Facebook as a business. I mean, as a homework assignment, I have always been on the internet as a business. There was never not one time that I was on social media as a consumer. Never not once. I have been running Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Pinterest ads and Snapchat ads. I've been that person for a decade now. The fact that I'm here to now help somebody else do that, the one thing that you need to know that it takes outside of the other things that I've already previously mentioned is consistency. I started my first LLC February 6, 2013. Be Unique LLC was my first business, and I started it as an author. As life has evolved and I have grown and learned and become accustomed to learning new things, one thing that never ceased was me remaining consistent. Everybody in my network knows me for something different. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but people know me for various different things. Nadia builds websites. Nadia is a business consultant. Nadia does shipping and logistics. Nadia has a drop shipping business and a website. Oh, you need somebody to write like an about me page? Nadia can do that. She's an author. Oh, you need her to do this? She can do that. Freight brokerage. Like, I have literally helped Lysol ship product all around the world for at least 6 years, and then one day they called me to help them remove containers out of the port back in 2021 when that shit was jammed up. They called me, and I was like, who am I? Are you fully aware this is through my business? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm comfortable with that. So when you have elevated and have done so many things in your lifetime, you realize that there are certain things that stick and there are some things that don't. I love being an author, but I don't know any one person that has gotten rich without having like a deal or have received an advance in order for them to say, hey, I have made this XYZ amount of millions prior to becoming an author, and then they made a book deal. I don't know anyone who has thrived and become a millionaire off of just writing books, except for the one who did 50 Shades of Grey. And if you ever read that original version, sheesh. Anyway, won't even go into that. Fact is, very, very few people become rich off of being an author. So I knew I had to evolve and grow my brand to be something else. I never wanted to be the face of the brand. I always wanted to play the background. I am not a front person. Even when you meet me in person, you're going to be like, this person is such a nerd and she's not even the same energy that you see on the internet, because I'm not. I am a public speaker by trade. I want to be known as a public speaker, author, but I am a creative. I know how to create content. I study people. I have a psych major. I know what people want. I know what people want to see. I don't want to be out here nude, frolicking around, thirst trapping all day. That is not really my speed, but I am comfortable nude. So that's also who I am. And the people that find that offensive are the people who tend to be insecure, or they're insecure with themselves and they don't want their partner also being a witness to that. When in reality, we could be all out here slanging and danging and nobody would really care, because at the end of the day, that's how we were born and that's how we are within. I don't see people's external. I see their internal. I see their souls. I see who people genuinely are. So when I create my brands, when I come up with these businesses, it's long and thought out for a very long time. People keep saying I need to switch my platform, and I'm like, I agree 1000%, because I've been building my community for so many years now. I have not monetized off of the community that I have genuinely built. I started doing teasers, started doing some products, off of BU ×2, doing some clothes, but I've never really monetize the community that I've built on Queen Goddess Hope on Instagram. So this year, 2013, we are officially in a new year. The new year, spring equinox just came upon us back in March 20th. So now I'm like, okay, new year, new me. It's time to get this shit cracking. So now that we are here, I'm ready to move forward, and I'm showing you how I did it. couple of things that you will 1000% need. You'll need a computer. You'll need high-speed internet. You'll need the premium version of Canva, because I'm not going to be able to teach you how to create banners and different things like that without the features that I use on a daily basis. The Canva thing is like $12.99 or something like that. You should be able to use that with no problems. But there are so many things that you'll be able to learn in time. You'll be thankful that you did it. Again, the other thing that you need is tenacity and consistency. Typically, I would suggest you getting into the swing of showing up for yourself at least 3 times per week. You need to get in the habit of self-care, of healing yourself, of knowing what it is that you truly want. Some people are parents, I am not. You still need to find time for self-care. You still find time every single day to show up for somebody else in your day job, but you don't find time to show up for yourself. How can you still keep going for somebody else, but you can't keep going for yourself? You have to show up for yourself. Please believe that they are going to try to do another simulation of COVID reloaded. Know that they are still working on new diseases. Know that we are in a bio warfare. Know that chemical trails are being sprayed every single day to block the sun from making the earth hotter. There are so many things happening at one time that at any given moment, this whole shit could be shut down. And the last thing that you want to do is go through the same process all over again. So this now is a test. Will you stand up and create a Shopify store? Will you complete this in the 7 days that you have? Or will you repeat the same cycle again, all over again, and just allow Western society colonialism to take over your life? You choose. Peace.